right, let's move on then to another special voice on the show. It's BSE MD and CEO Sundararaman Ramamurthy's first ever interview. He believes that India has a long runway for growth and that BSE will continue to ride on that. He says that MSMEs will thrive amid rising opportunities.
Take the case of Rajasthan. What all types of SMEs they have? Marble, artificial jewelry, gemstones. How many SMEs operate there? Do we have even 1% of them with us? No. Take the case of Tamil Nadu. We all only think immediately about Tirupur. Is it all about Tamil Nadu? What about the Karur belt? What about the Trichy belt? Where you find so many OEMs, so many people who are giving automobile parts, spare parts. Have we touched any of them? Nothing. So in my opinion, if you are talking about SME as providing very huge share of employment, GDP growth, exports, 500 is not even a number to talk about.
How large can it become in the next 5 years in your view?
Sky is the limit.
5,000, 10,000 companies?
Sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. What we need to do is, we need to go, many of them only know their mother tongue.
Sure.
India is a very big country in terms of number of languages. We have restricted capability. The day we realize that we have these type of restrictions and capability limitations, we will outgrow it. We will go to the local, we will talk their language, we will explain them in their understandable language how it is going to be useful for them to be visible. I will talk to you about a place near Salem. Wonderful wood carvings are made there and they are exported. We don't have any one of them in our SME segment. I can give you hundreds of names, hundreds of examples.
I can see how passionate you are about that subject. This particular question, you're kind of bubbling with energy, I can see that.
Yeah, so it is very close to my heart because it is contributing in a very significant way to Indian economy. I think we have to do a lot more there.
All right. Okay, so I was just looking at your profile before coming and reading about you. I mean, you have a very unique profile. Essentially, you understand risk very well. But what a brilliant time you spent at the other exchange, and of course a foreign bank, and you in a banker. So full circle of financial services is what you understand very well. How are you looking at the prospects of our country right now? And being an exchange, of course, and a veteran in financial services, the prospect and of course the market prospect then, because that will eventually mirror the economy over the long term.
Let me share with you this. We all have seen such times in India where there used to be huge scarcity. Scarcity for food, kerosene, palm oil, sugar, everything.
Such basic stuff.
Today, we don't talk of any of them. India has grown a lot. And in my opinion, India is going to grow even more. This is another pet topics for me. If you look at it, a growth of a country depends mainly on three factors, I must say. Consumption-led growth, export-led growth, and investments-led growth. There is no need for me to further tell anything. In all these three areas, we are excelling.
Yes,
India's own population with 65% plus in the age of 15 to 65, which we call as income earning age or employable age, and which will continue to be in that sweet spot for quite some time to come in the near future. And with a growing middle class, which is known for its consumption capability, and the doubling of the middle class consumption in very regular periodicity, and globally contributing for middle class consumption. The English speaking capability, which is a global language today, of this growing the income earning population, the time zone where we are kept, the legal and regulatory system that we have, which is one of the very good systems in the world, the democracy that we are able to provide, the cultural diversity which we are able to show. I think we are in a great sweet spot for further growth. It's going to be a golden era for Indians in the near future to come. Already it is, and it is going to
It will only get better in the coming
that's
decades.
what I feel.
So, the street believes that all these efforts put together, the future, the next 3 to 6 years for even BSE is very bright. and they're putting, say, somewhere around 25% kind of earnings CAGR possibility next 2 to 3 years. Do you think that's a fair estimate, or do you think it can be improved upon?
I am a listed company. I am representing that company. I have very least capabilities to make any forward-looking statements. So I would like to say I cannot add any reply to this question.
At least you can say that the strategic focus, you just come a few months, the strategic focus of your team, you and your team, over the next 2 to 3 years, if you could share visibility on that. Market will of course do their own math and talk about earnings. I don't want an earning reply from you, but the areas of strategic focus from you.
That's a very good question that you have asked. Basically, when in a single sentence, if I have to say, it is we want to unleash the power of vibrance. That is the single sentence which I repeat every time to my team, and my team believes it. I have a wonderful team with me, fully supporting me, which is very evident. Otherwise, I could not have done whatever I have done in the last 6 months. 6 months is too small a period for bringing in changes. Already, if you perceive that I am making changes, that's not because of me, it's because of my team. So the team is oriented to unleash the power of vibrance, as I said. What do we mean by that? In every area of activity where we have present, we have to make our presence felt, and we have to make our vibrancy felt. Where all we are there: equity derivatives, currency derivatives, commodity derivatives, interest rate derivatives, SME, mutual fund, RFQ platforms, retail debt. I can go on naming. Time is short for us, right? All of us have only specific tenure. In that we have to pick and choose. For us, for this current year, what we have picked and chosen is equity derivatives first, followed by equity, and then is currency options, to be very specific. In equity derivatives, we had 0 volumes, you know that, and today we are trying to see some green shoots. Maybe we will be able to grow with the support of one and all. And in respect of equity, we are currently clocking around 7% market share. My request to the market participants, particularly the institutional participants, is start putting some more volume with me. The moment I become 10% market share in the market, automatically the volumes start building up. Here again, I will be able to play a wonderful complementary role in the growth of the market as a whole, not by cannibalizing any market share. So just the initial push of increasing the volumes up to 10% is what is required. After that, the cycle on its own starts in a big way. So that is the second most important effort we are doing. Currency futures, we already have around 35 to 40% market share. So our focus is on currency options, where we have not opened much of an account. We do have a product which is trading, but not to the extent which, in my opinion, it can trade. So me and my team are working towards rejuvenating it. Once we have stabilized equity derivatives, that will be a major area of focus. SME, as you have seen, would be a real great focus for us. And mutual funds, again, because of its socio-economic impact and the financial savings being converted into capital market savings impact into the market, we will be focusing on. As of now, these are the priorities that we have put in front of us. Commodities, later next interest rate derivatives will all follow. Interest rate derivatives is a slightly complex product for India. There are a lot of changes that need to happen in Indian markets for that to happen.
Side as well.
So that will take some time. Certainly this will be our approach and this will be our strategy. My team is fully tuned and aligned with what we are talking. In fact, what I am telling is not my strategy. This is what we as a team felt that we should do.
You also have a lot of investments in some of the other companies, CDSL and many others. How are they doing? You're hoping to keep them on for now, or some value unlocking?
So by and large, they all are doing well. And by and large, we have a very close oversight over what we have invested in and how we are doing. Many of them are very early days for the investments. Many investments start giving you fruits only when the initial minimum gestation period is over. So most of them are in those areas. Of course, CDSL and all are in advanced stages, and which is what we are seeing.
One last word, because you're also somebody who keeps a very close eye on risk, being a risk manager as well. How do you see the environment right now? Because beyond the market froth or not froth or valuation, only on the regulatory side and how exchanges and regulator are working in tandem to ensure a very good, vibrant environment exists in the market. In many years back, decades back, the market was so concentrated. Few people could concentrate positions, this, that, all of those years of the past. How would you see the market right now on risk parameters?
I would see you touched upon the regulatory relationship with exchanges and how the regulatory formulation happens in this country. I must say it's a role model for the entire world. The way in which our country has progressed in regulation making, the consultative approach that it follows, the committee-based methodologies applied to evolve policy formulations in the larger interest of public, the consultative papers that come into the public domain, allowing everybody and anybody to have a say on what is being proposed to be called as a regulation. I think these are all very great measures, and I would say they are benchmark for the global economy to look into and emulate.
All right, there you have it. That's the view coming in from the BSE MD and CEO, talking about how they are now relaunching the Sensex derivatives in a new form. They're seeing good growth in the Star MF platform in the next few years. As he said, is going to be a golden era for India. All right, moving from one